Welcome to Conversation with Lee Presser. John Wayne Tucker has been a Baptist minister since he was 18 years old. He writes that he's never tasted alcohol, never smoked, never been in a fist fight, and has never been in trouble with the law. Well, Mr. Tucker's been a public school teacher, an adjunct college professor at UMSL, and a realtor. And now he's running to be a United States congressman. Today we're going to be discussing his reasons for wanting to go to Washington and what he hopes to accomplish while he's there. John Wayne Tucker, welcome to Conversation.
Well, thank you very much. Happy to be here.
I'm glad to have you. Why does a nice fellow like you want to go to the other Sin City, Washington, D.C.?
Well, you know, there is a little concern on my part of going to that particular place because I think that there is danger there for me in some sense, but I'm not afraid of it because I know who's going with me. And but I believe that there's a big problem in our country now, and it's been a growing problem for a long, long time. And it's something that I understand, having been a teacher and having been a minister. I know that we've lost our moral compass. We've lost our way in capitalism. We've lost our way in so many things. And I just believe that the people that we've been electing to go to Washington don't necessarily, not all of them, or most of them, don't seem to have the best interests of the people and the country at heart.
Well, let's assume for a minute that you're there and that other people like you are there. What 5 years, 10 years out, what does the country look like, or what does our government look like that's different than today?
If I'm there, well, I would believe that one person and a whole lot of people certainly could make a lot of difference in what's going on. As I say, we've lost our moral compass, and I definitely would like to see the direction that America takes towards its morality, its faith, and who we used to be, our historical personage that made us great, the work ethic that we got from the Puritans, and all of those things that have been washing us down the tube, so to speak. I think that those can all be changed. It's going to take a while to do that. But I believe that even one person can make a difference. I believe the pages of history, as I taught history, you know, and I believe that the pages of history are just filled with the names of people that made a difference. And they made a lot of difference. Some of them made a lot of bad difference, but many of them made a lot of really good difference. And so it's been my feeling for a long time that if you don't select people to go to Washington, D.C., who really believe something, who are really committed to a belief system, then you're just going to get the same old politics that you've always had.
Is politics the proper place for the kind of things you've just talked about, morality and change of conscience?
Well, I think it's where the country came from. I think it's what made our country great. And I think that when our leaders, we've seen our leaders falter and fail. We've seen the people that make our laws falter and fail. I know that God's a forgiving God, but there doesn't seem to be any moral consciousness there. If there's not a moral consciousness in a nation, then there's a big problem. I believe that national sin means national judgment. So a country that is failing in that sense, and their leaders are leading them into that, well, there's a big problem. Yeah, I think there's definitely a place for that. It's what made us great.
So now, what district is it that you're wanting to run for this congressional seat?
I'm running for the 3rd District.
And who's the current congressman?
The current congressman is Russ, as I like to refer to, Russ Rubber Stamp Carnahan. And he has been there for some time. And prior to that, it was Dick Gephardt. And it's been a Democratic district for way too long. Anytime you just have one person or one party leading a particular district for so many years. The balance, the whole perspective of everything just seems to go away as far as I'm concerned.
So if I understand it correctly, you're looking for the nomination of the Republican Party?
That's correct.
And when is this election scheduled for?
Well, it will be August in 2010. That's the primary. And then, of course, the election's in November.
Right. So you have to get past this primary first.
I
then.
do, yes.
Right. And where do you think you are in the process now? I mean, have you made progress in getting people to understand your message? Are you relatively known, unknown? Where do you think you stand right now? And today is September 1st of 2009.
Well, I have been well known throughout the state for a long time because of my ministry. I'm well known because of my teaching, all of the service-oriented things that I have done. And, of course, I've not been actively involved as a pastor for a long time. But I ran in the last election, and I went door to door to thousands of doors. I shook a lot of hands. I handed out a lot of paperwork, and I came in a very, very close second with only $720 running in the last election.
You mean in the primary?
In the primary, yes. And so this election is a little different. This was supposed to be the money-raising year. It hasn't gone as well as I would have hoped. I certainly need financial support. But I went to Washington, D.C. I talked to all the conservative and religious groups that I could while I was there. I went there on my own dime, and I went and I talked to the RNCC. And, frankly, I was a little concerned about what they told me. They didn't really ask me what I believe, if I'm a conservative, if I'm a Republican, how long I've been a Republican, what my educational background is. They didn't ask me any of that. They just asked me how much money can you raise. So I'm beginning to learn. I've learned a lot about the way this system works, and it's kind of a good old boys, kind of a politics as usual thing. And he had a book. He looked in the book and he said, well, you need $1.2 million for this. I think I can do it for less, but I certainly need to raise money. There's no doubt about that.
What do you think qualifies you to be a United States Congressman?
Well, I think the thing that qualifies me is that, of course, I have a bunch of education, if that means anything to anyone. I have the equivalent of 2.5 master's degrees. I have a variety of areas that I have studied in throughout my life. And I think the thing that really makes me qualify, though, other than education, obviously, is my commitment to America, to us remaining true to the Constitution, my commitment to our moral background, my commitment to the people. My entire life has been given to service. I've been in the ministry since 1967. I've earned no more than $5,000 in that entire time as a minister, so most of that has just been freely given service. I worked as a teacher, as a college professor, teaching American history and government to our kids. And
how long were you a teacher?
27 years.
Oh, a good long time.
Yes, and so that has given me a good understanding of what's going on and where our problems lie.
And where would you say that these problems lie?
Well, for a long time, I've been telling the kids, practically the entire time that I've been teaching, that the biggest problem that America faced right now was our work ethic and the fact that we spend too much money, and we just print it. And that is a downfall for any country. I read a book on finance just recently, and the name's escaping me. And in that book, he was talking about Argentina having 114 trillion% inflation. And I see America headed towards a massive inflation. We're in big trouble because we just print money. And we went off the gold and silver standard under